Welcome back to our discussion on public speaking qualities. In the previous video, we discussed enthusiasm, use of gestures, and diction. In this video, we're going to discuss interest arousing introduction, effective conclusion, and charm. So let's get right into the first one here. Interest arousing introduction. What is it? The introduction is a very crucial part of a talk. If it is well done, one can sustain the attention of his or her audience from beginning to end. On the other hand, if it is poorly done, the mind of the audience would wander. If you want your introduction to be effective, you have to take note of these. So how do you get attention of the audience? You use tactful and thought-provoking questions. Questions play a great deal in our speaking abilities. If you ask people questions, they think. And once they begin to think, they begin to pay attention and they expect what to say. They want their questions to be answered, or the question that you ask to be answered. Then you need to help them with real life experiences. Life is real, isn't it? And if you touch on real life experiences that people know about, they are likely to pay attention to you. And any news item. For example, there hardly is any public talk nowadays without a mention of COVID-19 because that catches people's attention. It's a sad story though, but once you touch on things people know, they are able to pay attention to you. Another thing that makes introductions interesting is good quotations. And if you read widely, we'll be able to come across interesting quotations that could enhance our introductions. So think around orators of the world. Have you heard something that is interesting that touches you and you would like to use to introduce your speech? That would be fine. And of course, other locally acceptable sources of information are also good to be used as introduction. And once it is effective, your listeners will be happy that it can be drawn into the speech itself. So introduction is like the door. A door is just an opening to a building. Why is it made beautiful? Because if a door is beautiful, you like to get into the house. You begin to imagine what is in the room if the door is that beautiful. By the same token, if your introduction is catchy, no doubt the audience would like to get into your room or your speech room, something of that type. So introduction is very important. We need to make sure we arouse our audience to our introduction or our speech. You also need to show your audience how the subject affects them. So it is no longer you, the one speaking, but those listening to you. How does your subject affect their lives? Their thoughts, their ideas, what they want to do in life. So no longer you, but them, which means you need to pay attention to how you present your subject. Content, which is what is important, but how is as equally, if not more important than what you say. So how you say it, how you introduce it, very important, so that you can keep your audience glued to you as you speak. If that is the case, of course, when we have introduction, no doubt we have conclusion, isn't it? So we'd like to get into effective conclusion. Effective conclusion. How to improve that? Your conclusion should be directly related to the thought you have already presented. So your conclusion shouldn't be outside what you have already done. And once you get a good introduction, you are likely to get a good conclusion because introduction introduces your topic. It identifies your topic. It introduces what you want to say. And once you finish saying what you want to say, you can go back touching on them. So whatever you conclude is already talked about. So conclusion is linked to your whole body of presentation as well as your introduction. And so you show your audience what to do about what they have heard. Take note, you do not tell them what to do. You show them what to do by your choice of words. So you don't say, stand up, sit down. No. How you say, show the person that sitting down is the best option now. Standing is the best option then. So they will be able to think, reason, and articulate for themselves as to what to do. Never directly tell your audience that, do this, do that. That is more like a military command than anything else. So you need to show them, not tell them that directly to make your conclusions effective. And then, of course, you need to motivate your listeners by what you say and how you say it. So, as we just talked about recently, what you say, how you say it, two things. What you say, content matters. How you say, how you go about it is as equally important as the content itself, if not more. So, effective conclusion, very important. Now, your conclusion should have a tone of finality. Your audience should know that you're coming to the end. Remember that if you start the engine of your vehicle, you warm it like an introduction, and then you go for a journey. The engine is very hot. Eventually, if you turn off the ignition key, see what happens. The engine just comes down and comes to a halt, and then it cools off. It's the same with the conclusion. It should have a tone of finality. The journey is over, kind of feeling on the part of your audience. And then you have a summary of the main points you discuss in the body. Some people do not, but you can choose to bring the summary of the main points. And by so doing, you have effectively concluded your speech. And then, of course, you need one final quality, as we would show in this video, which is charm. Not the one that people cast on others to remote control them, no, but a charm in such a way that your audience feel you and you feel your audience. What is it? The charm in public speaking is the ability to combine naturalness and unnaturalness or artificialness in a way that makes your audience see, smell, touch, hear, feel, and taste reality as though it is happening. So, of course, public speaking, once you stand before people, there is a way of acting in it, like an unnaturalness. But you're going to combine that unnaturalness with naturalness in such a way that it's going to be so natural that everything seems to be happening right in front of your audience. They can feel you, they can touch you, they can smell you, they can hear, they can just like swallow you. So that's the charm. And it's also the ability to make your audience fall in love with you and also your message. They like the way you handle your speech, what you say, how you say it, the naturalness. So they just fall for you and your message. That is charm. So you should not be too artificial. If you are too artificial, your audience know. They can tell that this is not natural. And so they are pushed away. You're going to try as much as you can to be very natural because life is natural. Every other thing that is invented is artificial, and speech is not invented. It comes with us naturally. It is the first thing we do. We speak before we even begin to write. So if it is natural, people fall for it. But if it's artificial, it pushes them away. Nothing should be understated nor exaggerated. We keep balance. So we have to be balanced and real. So how to improve charm? Let the energy level be natural. If you are too bombastic, the audience get frightened in a way. If you are too dull, they do not enjoy what is going on and they feel that, we go to bed. So the energy level should be natural to keep them alive. Not too much fire, not too much water. You combine water and fire and warm water. And we take warm water around this Hamatan time in the morning, don't we? So that we can be energetic during the day. So the energy level should be natural and make your audience the center of your presentation. The presentation is about your audience, not about you. You are not going to focus on impressing your audience. So how do I impress them? No, take your mind off you and focus on your audience. And naturally, you will be able to move them to action. Appeal to their senses in respectful and dignifying manner. So be respectful. Your choice of words will show respect, that you dignify them. And also transfer your audience into your world so that your audience are you and you are your audience. So thank you very much. We've discussed 3 three public speaking skills now. We discussed interest, arousing introduction, effective conclusion, also the final one, charm. Keep practicing all these public speaking qualities, and you will definitely improve as a public speaker. Once again, thank you very much, and have a lovely time.